Anyway, one sec, I'm gonna set up something. So, I'm almost ready. Okay, here's the setup, but it's not gonna be good because you can't see the whole video. But that's okay. Let me rewind. Like a boss.
Crewmates will have to go head-to-head with me, girlfriend. Being the daughter of a demon, I have a whole slew of new and scary abilities that can even more terrifying at my demon build-up. You will not believe just how powerful I can become if my boyfriend and the other crewmates take me down. You'll just have to watch until the end to find out.
Oh, jeez, guys, I'm going to show you that I have a girlfriend. You keep saying I don't, but I totally do.
Liar, page of fire.
Should be, see, right here. Hey, girlfriend.
I don't like it here all that much. There's no boom boxes or any... Oh, actually, I think I found a boom box right here.
Please, I don't like this.
Why are you doing this?
What's that awesome boyfriend? That's more like it.
Oh, go away. Oh yeah, this is a reaction video, by the way.
This video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Have you taken down the Demon Lord or crushed
No
the
one
Golem?
freaking cares.
I'm going to do my task to unlock the holy water, and I avoided those arrows. Player, she's killing me.
Little party over here. Gosh, boyfriend, you got great moves. Not that Bubsy, you did such a great job.
Oh, it's Bugsy. Guys, it's Bugsy.
Oh, what is this, Nyan Cat? Whoa, Nyan Cat.
Nya.
Your degree faster. Purdue University.
So cute.
Oh, ouch.
Oh, what's the matter, gentlemen?
This is very
Here,
painful.
you need some help with your moves?
Oh, no, thank you. No, thank you. Please, I think I'm going to die.
Bugsy didn't hurt you guys, did she?
Girlfriend, it's hard to believe you won't get even scarier because already you're kind of like an uncanny valley situation. No.
Up, down, gentlemen.
I don't want to.
Gotta move faster than that.
I want to see her final form.
Oh, you thought you could get away that easily? Try the Inferno.
I'm going to die. I fall to my death.
No, Mr. Ray wasn't a very...
Oh, we need to get all of our tasks done so we can unlock.
Please, try this out, EA.
Oh my God, I'm falling with the... Oh no, I'm dead.
Now I'm feeling like myself. Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, you are horrifying. No, wait, ouchie, ouch. Nope, run for my life.
Such a
No, why is she going?
What the fuck?
Oh my God. We that really hurt me.
No, thank you.
No, dude, this is how Mr. Chief dies.
Oh, you're in your final form. No.
Oh, you should have seen it. I just grabbed Mr. Cheese from the sky. It was great.
This is how Mr. Chief supposed to die.
Ow. Come on, girlfriend. You want... Oh, no. You want to kill me, would you?
Ooh, big for everyone.
Oh no.
What's the matter, Hunter? Not much of a dancer. Too little feet. I can help with that.
Don't get hit, Mr. Cheese. Dodge it.
I'm gonna die, boy. I'm gonna die.
Mr. Cheese, you're gonna make it. No. Mr. Cheese.
I want you to take you on a little vacation. It's my favorite destination.
Bring the ominous join my touch right next to the dead body, Mr. Cheese. But you know, gotta do what I gotta do.
It's so lonely out here, Oopsie.
No. How about I run into that crazy demon? Getting
Oh, I hope no one has cat
Oh
allergies.
no. Wait, where am I? Where are you taking me? Oh, I'm up in the sky. It's so beautiful. No!
Ooh.
That
Oh, I forgot you were mortal.
And I'm dead.
No, gentlemen. No.
Looks like like he wasn't rookie enough, player. Oh well, I'm sure you are though.
No, God, I have 29 health.
11. Task complete.
Guys, you gotta do your touch so I can use the holy water.
Let's go up. Oh, what's up here?
Hold on. Oh, gosh, you're not wings deep. Oh, little fire never hurt nobody.
Guys, just try to survive. I got my last task.
Oh, don't worry, player. It'll just be us in the end. You and me forever.
Don't worry, this is it. This is it.
Oh,
Don't worry, I just got the holy water. I'm coming.
no. I don't know where anyone is.
Girlfriend, I'm gonna save you. Holy water.
Where?
Holy water's coming down. It's raining down on you. It's, yes, it's working. It's working.
What? Huh? Oh.
Yes, see?
Oh, wow. What happened there?
You're not you when you're a demon, you know.
Oh, yeah. What did the
Sharing is caring.
Okay, what the fuck? You never even saw the fucking video. Or did you? Now you can see. Now let's do this. Let's watch this video.
But if sharing is caring, others.
This is 33 new mobs that should be added. This is 33 new mobs that should be added to 1.17.
There are 33 new mobs to Minecraft that we hope to see in version 117. Now, this video took over a year to develop, so I hope you enjoy it. And only once you've watched the entire video, let me know down below in the comments which was your favorite new mob. You are a queen in my heart. That's why we are starting off with the first creeper, which is the queen creeper. Listen, I don't care if you're a man or a woman or whatever. You're still a queen in my heart. It's because I love you and you are a beautiful person. And you should feel like a king or a queen. But in this situation, you...
No, different video. No deal.
Broke up with my ex-girl. Here's the number. Fight the wrong number.
What in the fuck?
For a while, we encounter something so uncomfortable, we wish we'd never seen it to begin with. Whether you're a self-proclaimed perfectionist or just love a good cringe, buckle up, because here are some things that'll
What the
definitely make your
fuck?
head twitch a little.
No!
Take a look at this photo and ask yourself what's wrong with it. This mind-bending image caused mass hysteria online after someone first tweeted it in July 2019, and people struggled to figure out exactly why it looks so off. Can't quite put your finger on it yet? This menu, belonging to a UK fish and chip shop, has inexplicably plated up an appetizing meal with the peas upside down. Someone obviously decided to Photoshop the veggies in rather than just photographing the real portion. Either that or they belong in Stranger Things. If misplaced peas are enough to cause a viral meltdown, check out this image and try to name as many things as you can. It seems simple at first, but on closer inspection, it's impossible to be certain what any of the strange objects in this jumble of shapes actually is. The baffling photo appeared in April 2019, and one theory is that it's supposed to simulate the experience of a stroke, where everything is hauntingly familiar, yet totally unrecognizable. Despite speculation, one unedited version claims that this is the answer. What do you see? Sandwiches are a well-loved meal for any time of day, and although there's constant debate over which way to cut them and what filling is best, there are some pretty standard procedures surrounding the snack. This, however, is definitely not one of them. PB&J may be a winning combo, but the thought of this sticky outer coating and dry bread center should be enough to make anyone's skin crawl. That reverse sandwich has got nothing on the nightmare this guy has dreamed up. Somehow, I don't feel like bread as a filling and processed sausage meat as the outside is going to catch on. But at least he looks pleased with himself. Why can't people just eat things normally? Some
That's
people
exactly
might see
what I'm
the appeal of
thinking.
this futuristic staircase.
What
And although
the
it's definitely super cool to look at, for most this world would be a total nightmare.
What the
For starters, the jumbled step placements are a real sight for sore eyes. And can you imagine trying to leave the house in a rush? Or even worse, coming home and crying and drunk?
That
No
is so
marketing strategies play out how they were originally intended. And I'm not sure this badge design is getting the message across quite as well as its creators hoped. No, you're not having an aneurysm. The badge, which reads, "Do it a different way in various directions," is just incredibly stupid. Sometimes different doesn't equal better. Sometimes it does pay to deviate from the norm, particularly where food is concerned. Trying out new flavors can be rewarding when you stumble upon a new winning combo, but whoever decided to give this horrifying hot dog a whirl should be tried for crimes
What?
against
No.
humanity. The thought of the meaty yet minty flavors of this meal are truly gag-worthy.
Not going good?
Imagine hard-boiling an
Just
egg,
kidding.
slicing into it to find there's no yolk inside
Wait,
it at all.
what in
This was
the-
the case for one Japanese woman who discovered the unnerving foodie phenomena in December 2016. Apparently, this is actually fairly common in egg production, although they don't usually make it through sorting. The yolkless egg is created when small amounts of reproductive tissue enter the hen's oviduct, triggering the regular formation of an egg, which is hilariously known as a fart egg. There are interior design fails, and then there are just deliberately sadistic ways to torture anyone who steps inside. And this bathroom is definitely the latter. The undeniably
what
retro
the-
feel of the room is no excuse for the horrendously mismatched tile placement and angular mirror, which make it seem like the whole thing is leaning. Anyone would feel seasick in there, and entering with a hangover could spell disaster. No one likes to consider themselves a sheep who follows the crowd in life. But anyone who does things like this is far too reckless and needs to step back in line. My jaw hurts just looking at this photo, imagining the amount of chewing involved in such an enormous bite. This person probably also eats
Oh my god.
Thank you. This is a very special place. It's a home for all these
That
kids
is not
and
spelled
get all
backwards.
these sicknesses.
like this monster. There's a
What
certain
the-
supermarket etiquette, and although not everyone behaves accordingly, this woman really pushed the boundaries for total grocery shopping no-goes. Yes, this lady is seriously using 3 whole loaves of bread as knee pads while she browses the selection on the shelves. Does anyone really take bread selecting this seriously? Nail art is getting out of hand these days, with people thinking up all sorts of wacky new ways to decorate their fingertips. But this unique new take is too uncomfortable for words.
What?
Individually gluing each
Is that
grain of rice
rice?
on seems like way too much effort for this jumbled cringe fest. I just hope someone took the
That's
opportunity
rice.
to say, "Rice snails you get there." This aerial shot of the neighborhood in Florida is enough to trigger anybody's OCD. It might look like someone's been messing around while playing The Sims, but this slapdash block of conflicting houses and buildings was actually built like this deliberately. It was likely planned following regular northeast-southwest coordinates before the rest of the neighborhood was aligned parallel to the coastline instead. Thanksgiving is the perfect time for families to get together and enjoy some quality time. But if there's one way to ruin the gathering, it's this. Whoever took this photo definitely lost a loved one that day. We're just not sure which pumpkin pie murdering member it is yet. Footwear is a controversial subject for some people, but I think we can all agree that these iron flip-flops look pretty horrendous all around. Lugging 2 lumps of solid metal around on your feet doesn't seem like an ideal situation for a day at the beach. But I guess the chances of stubbing your toe might be significantly reduced. Most kids and fun-loving adults would love a water slide in their own backyard, but I'm not entirely sold on this design. Between the incredibly steep ladder, tight-fitting tube, and approximate 1-second ride which would fire you into the water at high speed, this seems like one seriously uncomfortable slide. If you're a self-proclaimed perfectionist, even the smallest thing out of place can be incredibly frustrating. But one homeowner hit the breaking point when they noticed this after 9 long years. This horrendously mismatched alignment isn't something they'll ever be able to pass again without looking at it. Time to move out, I guess. Whoever designed this control panel clearly didn't want anyone to leave the elevator. On the correct floor, at least. The buttons on this thing look more like a bingo scorecard than a logical system of organization. And for all the confusion it causes, it's probably worth just taking the stairs instead. Imagine visiting someone's house for the first time and discovering this when you head upstairs to use the bathroom. Most people would run in the opposite direction, but I'll bet the most curious among us would like to feel this under bare foot. Either way, it's seriously uncomfortable to look at. The world's greatest monuments are serious tourist traps, and millions of people journey far and wide to snap iconic photos each year. But can you imagine making it to the top of the Eiffel Tower to see this? This unlucky tourist was just a few minutes late to see the tower's shadow line up perfectly with the Jardin du Trocadero across the bridge. I guess they could always camp out and try again tomorrow. If that last photo wasn't enough to set off your OCD, then try this one out for size. This wonky boy of North London has irritated people all over the internet who can't fathom how out of place the askew door looks on the street. The most infuriating thing about this is probably that the postman has to lean slightly to deliver the mail through the letterbox. We've all made the mistake of guzzling a glass of fresh orange juice after brushing our teeth at some point in our lives. But even that combination pales in comparison with this criminal offender. It takes a true psychopath to sacrifice a perfectly good cookie in such a reckless way. And if you don't see the problem here, you might just be one too. There's always room for a little more creativity in daily life, but if you're going to do something like this, then perhaps you should rein it back in a bit. It certainly takes some talent to organize your own body hair into a work of art, but those eyes are staring straight at my soul. If dieting isn't quite going your way, then maybe you should give this fork a go for guaranteed success. Perhaps this was a product of a simple manufacturing mistake, or it's one hell of a torture device for anyone hoping to get some solid food into their body. I shudder to think how frustrating this cutlery would be to use. People will eat just about anything nowadays, but is this really necessary? I guess this would be one way to seriously confuse hotel staff, but is a prank really worth the unthinkable soapy taste and clammy texture of this in your mouth? Even if just for a second? In the age of Bluetooth connectivity, wired headphones are becoming increasingly annoying, but this solution seems more uncomfortable than ingenious. The effort involved in feeding the cord to each piercing seems infuriating enough, but just imagine walking away from your laptop and forgetting you're still plugged in. No, this image isn't Photoshop, and it surprisingly isn't a collection of huge lumps of raw red meat either. This outdoor furniture is actually made from marble, specifically rose quartz, which has been polished and sold. In fact, collectors in China go crazy over these meat rocks, and the finest specimens resembling marble pork or beef can sell for thousands. So this meaty altar is probably priceless. Avocado is a favorite food for hipsters and influencers ready to snap the perfect #brunch photo. But there's something incredibly disconcerting about this concept. This shaved avocado is the work of artist Ambera Wellman, whose specialty is making everyday objects as uncomfortable as possible in photos you just can't look away from. Getting stuck in traffic is not enjoyable on most accounts. But not much could be worse than this 25-lane highway in China which merges into 4 after passing through toll booths. A drone captured this hideously uncomfortable jam in 2015 after thousands of Chinese holidaymakers got stuck after a national holiday on their way back to Beijing. In August 2010, a similar incident occurred which lasted 2 whole weeks, with some drivers moving their vehicles only 1 kilometer per day and reporting being stuck for 5 days. In life, there are people who play it safe and those who like to take risks. And then there's this person. Even looking at this photo is enough to cause an anxiety flare-up, let alone driving the car with this full cup of coke dangerously balancing vertically. One unexpected speed bump or emergency stop, and it's game over. Anyone with the slightest OCD tendencies would struggle to function after spotting this on their bathroom floor. This mildly infuriating missing time was also a real source of mystery. Was it always that way? Or what exactly happened to it? Finding matching colored paint might be the only solution to this uncomfortable situation. This running track might not seem particularly unusual, but take a closer look at the numbers and you'll see why this is so uncomfortable to look at. The most eagle-eyed will have spotted that the number 3 is actually stenciled upside down. Can't unsee it now. Plenty of people idolize their favorite pop stars, and it's not uncommon for kids to theme their own birthday around them. But this Justin Bieber cake is certainly not child-friendly. The likeness might be there right now, but I wonder what this horrifying raw meat creation would look like after it's been cooked. If there's one way to make someone uncomfortable on their birthday, besides constructing their favorite singer out of meat, it's serving them a cake like this one. Even if this stomach-turning message turns out to be a harmless prank, no amount of convincing is going to stop someone from being extra cautious with every bite. There are certain things that are so hideous, you just can't look away. And this woman's bizarre tongue is most definitely one of them. These enormous cracks might seem like the result of some horrific accident, but apparently this genetic condition, known as tongue fissures, is fairly common. Sufferers say it's totally painless and just requires a little extra brushing. But it's still hella uncomfortable to look at. Which of these things made your toes curl the most? Let me know in the comments down below.
What in the hell is that sign? Okay, I'm watching a video.
Have known that the right food could help your new friend live their best life, or give your old friend new energy, or that the smallest changes could make the biggest impact. You did, and so did we. That's
The world we live in is chock full of crazy and colorful creatures, but a few are so seldom seen that you'd be forgiven for thinking they're mythical beings. From deep in the oceans to high in the trees, these crazy critters can hide just about anywhere. So put on your khaki clothes and grab your binoculars, because we're about to go on a safari of some of the strangest wild animals that have rarely been seen. Curious cuscus. The dense forests of northern New Guinea are home to thousands, if not millions, of animal species. But there's one slinking about in the darkness that's as confusing as it is captivating. This is the black-spotted cuscus, a mysterious marsupial that looks like a cross between a cat, a fox, and a monkey. Though we don't know much about it, what we do know is fascinating. For a start, those snake-like eyes are very useful for seeing in the dark. Much like cats and foxes, the cuscus's vertically slit pupils allow it to see excellently at night, while also blocking out harmful daylight in the sunlit hours. As well as being nocturnal, these freaky furballs are arboreal, meaning they live in trees. Using their arched front claws and 20-inch tail, they nimbly navigate the very tips of the treetops in search of tasty fruits and leaves. But even though they seem safe up there, they've been pushed to the brink of extinction, thanks to deadly deforestation and human hunting efforts. And now, so little is known about these animals that we don't even know how many of them are left in the wild. That's enough to make anyone cuss. Hidden Desmond. In Catalonia's All-Pyrenees National Park, a strange combination of a rat, mole, and platypus scurries around on the ground entirely undetected. That is, until it's caught. This elusive little animal is a Pyrenean desmond. Using its twitchy, trunk-like nose, it roots through mud and crevices for insects and fish like a tiny carnivorous elephant. Unlike an elephant, though, these little critters are also amphibious. They can close their nostrils and ears while swimming, and their paddle-like paws allow them to zip through the water like some sort of furry fish. But because this minute mammal is only about 5 inches long, nocturnal, and lightning fast, it's very hard to spot. The little pocket rocket is so hard to study, in fact, that researchers have resorted to hunting for its poop instead. It's a dirty way of extracting DNA from the animals without having to dive into the water after them. But I think those researchers are looking in the wrong places, because some Desmond seem to care more about having fun than running away. Now, these animals might be difficult to spot, but you don't need a pair of eagle eyes to see those like and subscribe buttons down below. Go ahead and hit them up. All done? Great. Now, what's next? Goody Beauty. If you're scared of spiders, I suggest you look away now, because the Goody tarantula is as spine-tinglingly scary as it is bizarrely beautiful. The sapphire spider was first found in the town of Goody, southern India, in 1899, before completely disappearing for 102 years until it was spotted again in 2001. You might be wondering how something so strikingly blue with a huge 8-inch leg span could possibly vanish for so long. But that's because the Goody is actually a very timid tarantula. Instead of attacking, the spider will opt to flee in most situations. And as a tree dweller, it often lurks high above eye level, staying well out of sight of most humans. But if provoked, it will bite, and its poisonous fangs are so potent that they can leave humans in intense pain for over a week. Not that it seems to bother this man, who actually owns one of these incredibly rare creatures.
He has a cootie tarantula.
They're not exactly my idea of a cute pet. Though some are kept in captivity, it's almost impossible to find them in the wild, because their habitats are being destroyed by deforestation. No wonder they look so blue.
Oh.
Sky High Funny Guy. The mountaintops of the Cao forests in northern Vietnam are so high, parts of them soar spectacularly above the clouds. Although that's not the forest's most incredible feature, because it's here, in trees perched up to 4,000 feet above sea level, that the Tonkin snub-nosed monkeys climb. They may sound majestic, but up close, they look a lot more like clowns. With a blue face, bright white eyes, and huge pink lips, it looks like the poor primates tried to put makeup on without a mirror. Even their babies are born looking like they're about to perform in a drag show. But we shouldn't laugh, because they're actually one of the 25 most endangered primate species in the world. Today, only about 200 are left in the wild, thanks to intense poaching and massive habitat loss. Looks like this primate's appearance is the least of its problems. A sizable squid. Despite their huge size, it's still very rare to catch a sighting of an aptly named giant squid. And that's because these colossal cephalopods usually live in the darkest depths of the ocean, around 2,000 feet below the waves. So elusive are these massive sea monsters that it wasn't until 2006 that the first footage of one was captured, taken off the coast of Japan. But considering there are an estimated 4.3 million giant squids swimming around, the lack of sightings is astounding. This injured squid, however, off the coast of Cape Town in South Africa, must have lost its way.
You're welcome. By the way,
It's possible the animal was attacked by a sperm whale, their only known predator, or it could have gotten into a fight with one of its own kind. Scientists know from cutting open giant squid carcasses that they live on a diet of deep water fish and even other giant squids, so anything's possible. They show no interest in feasting on human flesh, though, which is lucky because The 8-armed titans also have 2 long feeding tentacles, lined with razor-sharp, serrated suckers. Using these, they can snatch prey up to an astonishing 33 feet away. Then they reel the unfortunate cargo toward them before munching it into tiny pieces with their powerful beaks. Considering the behemoths can grow up to 43 feet long, which is about the size of 7 to 8 adults, I don't think a human would stand much of a chance against one. And what's more, the growth rings on statoliths, which are small, mineralized masses that help squids to balance, suggest that they don't live any longer than 5 years. So they must grow at an insane pace, and need an equally insane amount of food to sustain all that growth. Okay, now I'm really glad they don't have a taste for human, or we'll all be in deep water. Brilliant bumblebee bat. You'd better look really closely if you want to get a glimpse of this miniature creature. With a body slightly over an inch long that weighs even less than a penny, the bumblebee bat is believed to be the smallest mammal in the entire world. It's so small that, unlike other bats, it can actually hover in the air like a hummingbird and dart away just as quickly. But it's not just its tiny size that means it's hardly ever seen. It's also classed as a vulnerable species in Thailand and Myanmar, where it lives. Like regular bats, they cling to the ceilings of caves and clusters during the day. But monks that use the bat's caves to meditate in, and tourists trying to spy the rare animals, have disturbed and damaged these precious natural habitats. That's not to say that the flying furballs haven't fought back, though. Reddit user Skididdly-Doo recalled a tour guide's tale about a group of tourists who noisily tramped around these hills, where all the little bats clustered on them. And they were not happy. Furiously, the crazy critters swooped down from the ceiling and pelted themselves with a big, fuzzy hailstorm. I definitely didn't know if that happened to me. Secretive sea pigs.
What the fuck?
Despite the name, ocean-dwelling sea pigs will not respond to being called babe. And
Yeah,
don't have
that's
curly
gonna be the
pink
end of
tails
this
either.
video.
Unlike their namesakes, sea pigs are actually
Bye.
a type
Have
of
a great
sea
day.
cucumber.